summer is coming for your fat loss goals. Okay, so winter has the reputation of being the most problematic for most people, but today I am going to share 3 reasons that summer is actually way worse. And when I say way worse, I mean a lot worse than winter when it comes to sticking to your goals and getting things accomplished. Okay, but before we get into that, I'm Tiffany, certified personal trainer, nutrition specialist, and this is Snatch Chat, where I'm here to help you lose fat, but not your mind. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you find the information useful, and also make sure to go to the description and get your Snatch Starter Kit. It's a little kit I have put together for my community. Has a few workouts and some other mindset and nutrition stuff, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. So I have 3 reasons that summer is worse, okay? So as I said in the beginning, when we think of the year, okay, a lot of people start worrying when winter comes around and they think that's where they are going to do the most damage to their goals. But if you sat and really thought about it more, you may realize that summer is where you get into a lot of your trouble. And so these are 3 things that I have observed and that I believe are the catalyst to summer being the worst season for fat loss goals, okay? So the very first one is the actual food that we take in, okay, for summer. Now, in our minds, when the holidays come, we think of, stuffing our face, right? Some people may even be able to go and say that they eat more in winter because they're in the house and they may snack more, this and that, which is a very, very, fair assessment. But when you really think about the holidays, and this will tie into my reason number 2 a little better, but when you think about the holidays, when you're making plates usually, I would argue that most of the food that you eat for holiday seasons and in the winter is a little bit more nutritionally balanced and better for you than a lot of the stuff that we eat in summer. So when you think about summer, okay, think about all the things that you actually eat. The one thing that I would say is the biggest catalyst that a lot of people, want to pretend is not a huge deterrent for fat loss is the alcohol consumption. So a lot of times when we drink in the winter, it's usually for an actual holiday. So if you're talking about Thanksgiving or Christmas, even if you're around your family for a week or two, the liquor may be flowing. Okay, I get it. The liquor may be flowing, but it is at least a limited time, right? Summertime is a whole nother story. This is when brunch starts to come into play. Okay, a lot of mimosas, a lot of margaritas, all kinds of stuff starts getting popping in the summertime. So, and as I've said many, many times, alcohol is one of the worst things you can drink for your fat loss. And while I'm not telling you to not drink at all, I definitely drink. I say it all the time because I want it to be clear that I'm not just, pooping on drinking, but it is my duty to tell you that it is the absolute worst thing that you can do. I have a video about it being worse than cake and all kinds of stuff, okay? So, I think that the alcohol consumption in summer is actually one of the biggest catalysts, along with the fact that at least with your main meals for the holidays, you're going to have like your protein, you're going to have some vegetables, you're going to have even though it might be a little high calorie, I get it, you're going to still have a more balanced kind of meal. In summer, the alcohol comes into play, and if you really think about it, you're still getting the same stuff in the summer because there are holidays in the summer that we eat just as much. So when you're talking about Memorial Day, that's when it really kicks off. And I plan this video to come right after Memorial Day because it is, I don't know when you're watching this, but if you're watching it when it came out, this is the start of when people associate summer is Memorial Day weekend, right? And that just passed. So Memorial Day, you got 4th of July. There's a lot of celebrating. A lot of people celebrate weddings and birthdays and all kinds of stuff that pretty much equates to the Christmas or the Thanksgiving meal, right? So that is that. Now, number two ties into it a little bit because you're actually still eating the same stuff, right? Or not the same stuff, but you're still eating a lot of stuff in summer just as much as you're eating in winter. But one of the hugest factors is the fact that it's a longer period of time. So, yes, depending on where you live, okay, winter may start, well, winter, and when I say winter, I mean like being cold and feeling like you're hibernating in your house, okay? That's what I mean by winter, really, and the holidays. But winter, as in, winter habit kind of stuff, even if it's starts in, say, October, November, early November, you really only have 2 months of actual acting a whole fool, right? So the two holidays, you have Thanksgiving, Christmas. Most people are going to go really crazy maybe that week, but it's really only 2 full months. And the craziest savior is that New Year's follows both of them, right? So this is the ding 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 of the video, okay? this is the ding ding ding, light bulb should go off or something like that. So when New Year's is the most motivated time of year for everyone when it comes to fat loss. So the fact that you have only 2 months of the whole acting the fool, and it is at least broken up by a little bit of motivation for January to February, even though, yes, most people do fall off, okay, very, very fast, but it's still at least usually a couple weeks, that they can get a little distraction and they will want to do a little better. When it comes to summer, think about how long the actual cycle prolongs. It basically, if once summer starts, if you get off track and you start acting a whole fool, as I say often, really that's translating into you acting a whole fool for the whole year, right? Because you have between May and September, just for the period that we're talking about, or late August. So in itself, you're already at 3 or 4 months of, completely like acting the fool. And if you want to count like the spring months where a lot of people, where it starts getting warm and some of these behaviors start that I was talking about, the drinking and, having, barbecues and all of that, you'll see that you can easily from April to September be completely off track. Okay, so the fact that you're eating as bad or as much, okay, for a longer period of time is a huge factor, and the second reason that I believe summer is more detrimental to weight loss than winter. And the third reason, which I could argue is the most important, even though I think number two is the most overlooked reason. So I think the fact that people don't really think about the fact that you have a longer period of acting a whole fool. The third reason may be the most important, and of course, I'm always going to say mindset is a huge thing. And the third thing is that there is this mentality that kicks in right about this time, early, June, right after Memorial Day, where it's a like, F it attitude is what I call it. Okay, I would say the real word. I'm gonna be, responsible for this video, but in real life, I would say the real word. But it's the F it mentality, because a lot of people get so demotivated, and you know how I feel about motivation. If you don't, go check the videos, because I talk about it all the time. Motivation doesn't really exist, but if you want to talk about it in this kind of realm, okay, it is very low in the beginning of the summer, because most people, when they are trying to get in shape, they are getting in shape for their summer body or something that is happening in the summer where they want to show off their body, right? So once May hits, especially Memorial Day weekend, and people realize that they're not going to lose the weight in time for whatever they want, they say, you know what? I might as well just not do it. It's too late, and they completely fall off. And I can personally say, and it's a very sad time, as you know, for to be a fitness coach around this time, because you see a lot of clients and people just in your community really kind of just fall off and completely just give up on their goals and all of that. And it's a lot of it has to do with the fact that they were trying to, in January, February, whenever, even March, even if they get on board March or April, they wanted to look a certain way by June, July, right? And once that time hits and they realize that they're not going to, get to where they want to go, they just fall off the wagon. So those are the three reasons. I will close in saying that, this is where I get, a little more tough lovey, because, I'm not really one of those fitness people that just like does motivational quotes and just tells you what you want to hear. The truth of the matter is that, and I've put it in some of my other content, this is when the cream of the crop rises, okay? And where the weeds are weeded out. All right, it's times like this, okay? Because everybody's going to be super motivated in the beginning of January, okay? And some people may even get motivated different times of the years for the 2 weeks, the 3 weeks, or whatever. But when it is, so all the distractions, okay, that summer has to provide, okay, can really, really deter you for the reasons that I said. But in general, in any time of the year, there are always going to be reasons that you will be deterred. This is when it is time to really get it together and have some really strong self-reflection, and to really reprioritize your goals, why you're doing this, everything you want, how hard you've worked, and if you haven't worked hard, why you didn't work hard, just all kinds of self-assessment. I won't go into specific things. I have a ton of videos on like mindset and stuff like that, so go check those out. But it's time to it's time to just get it popping and stop making excuses and get back on track. Okay, so if you are in a mindset right now where you're like, you know what, I'm just kind of over it. It's summer. I just want to have a good time. I will get back on track, eventually tomorrow, like whatever wording is your go-to for putting it off basically and never getting it done. It's time to change that language, okay? Get some paper and a pen, write down your goals, why you want it. Having it in writing is always a good thing, and just start, okay? Get back on track. Make a commitment with yourself, how many days you're going to work out, what food choices you're going to do or not do. Put it in writing, put it up, look at it every day, and get it popping. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the short version of it. And my short version sometimes ain't really that short, but I am who I am. I hope you love me anyways. So anyways, that is it. Those are the reasons that summer is not just hot, but can be a hot mess, okay, for your fat loss. So, get it together, do your best, just don't fall off completely, have fun, but stay fit as well, okay? So hopefully this helped you in some way. Hopefully it gave you a new perspective of looking at summer differently and kind of putting in perspective with the rest of the year, okay? So till next time, eat well, drink well, take care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit, and I will see you soon.